guys, it is finished. South Africa have been eliminated from the World Cup round of 32. They become the first country and also the first African country to be eliminated in the round of 32 in this particular World Cup. As an African, how do you feel about this? They lost by 1-0 to Canada in a game where everyone thought the game was going to extra time and possibly penalties. All of a sudden, Canada pulled up a surprise in the ending of that game to win it, and they have progressed to the round of 16. So now Canada are the first country to register a spot in the round of 16 in this particular World Cup. But then I want to know your thoughts concerning this. How do you feel as an African knowing that South Africa are out of the World Cup? Let me know it down below in the comments. I would go first. As a Ghanaian and also as an African, today of all days where I changed my mind and my heart towards South Africa, hoping that they could win the game because we need more representation of African countries in the round of 16, they go eliminated. Look, I don't have much to say, but all I can say is South Africa, they are going back to their country. Look, I started this World Cup stating that South Africa have done well. They have that survival instinct. And today we saw it. They played very well. I felt like this was the most painful way to lose a game and get eliminated because they played so well, defended so well throughout the game, only for the last minute where players were tired, they lost focus, and then they conceded that particular goal. But then guys, let me ask you this. Which player impressed you the most in that game? Because I felt like some South African players really impressed me. Mbokazi, their defender, he was superb. Modiba, the fullback, good. Modal, good. Okon, good. Ronwen Williams, good. In fact, that back line and the goalkeeper, those 5 players were in fact South Africa's best players on the pitch. They were the ones making sure they were going as far as they can in that game. And they all impressed me. It's just rather unfortunate their efforts really did not get them there to the round of 16. But these players, especially Mbokazi, that guy was just excellent. Look at him. Look at him. Modiba also did very well. And guys, I'm here so that we will talk about the game. But then, how do you feel as an African? Let me know it down below in the comments. Now, with South Africa, when they qualified to the round of 32, it was a historic moment for them because, look, this is a team that has not progressed to the knockout phases at the World Cup before. So, historic for them. And they were happy for themselves, but not all Africans. But it got to a point today. Everyone was like, no, we want to see South Africa go far. We want to see them. Let's be a united front. But then they are out. That means that Africa's representation has been short from 9 to now 8. We still need numbers in the round of 16. Now, Canada would meet the winner of Morocco and also Netherlands. So, South Africa, don't worry. Morocco definitely revenge for you. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest highlights of that game, getting to the end of the first half. I want to ask you this. Is this a penalty or not? Let me know it down below in the comments. Is this a penalty or not? Now, the reason why I am indifferent about this is because, look, something similar happened when Senegal played against France. Mbappe. But then France were not given a penalty. The ruling was that the attacker, which was Mbappe, was the one who rather fouled the defender in that instance. And this was a similar situation because at the end of the day, the defender's leg went ahead of the attacker, which was Lai. You understand? Yes, Lai was in motion about to kick the ball, but then the defender's leg got there first. And did he touch the ball or not? That's some facts we need to even establish in the first place. Did he touch the ball? No, he did not touch the ball. Modal did not touch the ball. Was there contact? Yes, there was contact. If this has happened, let's say outside the 18-yard box, would this have been a foul? Yes. But then, in cases of penalties, it is quite different. Like the rule is different. Then I want to read to you what the rule kind of says concerning this, because I need us to understand this. I've already established a precedent of what happened between France and also Senegal. Similar situation, the penalty wasn't given to France. But then this is what it says. The VAR rule on penalties has at least been consistent on one phase. If the attacking player initiates the contact, then no penalty. It happened in the France-Senegal game, and it has been the same in the Canada-South Africa game too. So this is what I'm trying to say. You could see that the attacker was the one who actually used his leg to hit the defender's leg, because the defender's leg already, took lead in that instance. But then it depends on how you want to interpret it. That's what I said. I feel indifferent about this. As at this point, I would have to go with the referee's ruling for no penalty. But you watching, let me know what you think. Was this a penalty or not? Because something had already happened, something similar. It wasn't given. So there is some sort of consistency when it comes to refereeing decision, when it comes to this particular scenario. But then you'll be the judge over that. I want to really know. Penalty or no penalty. Now let's talk about the game. I felt like defensively South Africa were the better team. They defended very well in that game, but then they did not pose any attacking threats to Canada. Canada does not have the best defense, but today South Africa made it look like they were defensively good, because South Africa rather were trying to sit in the low block, were trying to contain them. But then Canada took the opportunity and also attack. And for me, they were the best attacking team. Now, if you take a look at the way Canada played, they had so many chances. Now, Canada is not known for being a typical attacking team, but then today, because they were facing a team that was quite on the low block and waiting to hit them on the counter, they had to play like that. And they had so many chances that were jaw-breaking, and chances that got us to see South Africa defenders make some crazy line-breaking saves and all that. Now, this happened getting to the end of the first half. And I have to say this, Modiba was just excellent. Right place, right time, good concentration, good anticipation of the ball, cleared it off the line. And also, Ronwen Williams becoming that firewall, saved the rebound. Now, it also happened in the second half. Ronwen Williams makes the first save, the ball bounced, and Mbokazi comes in, clears that ball. For me, I think those were some of the fine moments that you could be proud of as an African or as a South African, saying that, look, your team is a very good team. And I think some of these players, after the World Cup, should be going to Europe, because they have put up some crazy performance, especially that back four and also the goalkeeper, Ronwen Williams. The performance they put up today was just crazy in my own opinion. But then at the end of the day, it is all about, did you qualify to the next round? In one moment, I almost believed they were already going to extra time. And I feel this is where South Africa got it wrong. The reason why Canada won this game was because of substitutions. Canada had already completed or exhausted their 5 substitution slots. They already brought in players because they knew that they needed fresh legs in the game to win the game. As for South Africa, no, most of their players were tired. And guess what? They only made about 3 changes before that time. Meanwhile, they had 2 more slots to bring in players. Now, listen to this. If there were fresh legs in that game, trust me, the reaction that they would have gotten to block that ball and the anticipation would have been high, because there were so many tired legs in that game. The players were more relaxed, knowing that, look, we can take this game to extra time. I'm not blaming any player for the goal that was scored, but I felt like if some substitutions were done, someone like Mokoena, he was tired. At least he was the one closest to the player who scored the goal. If he had reacted in time, you understand, it would have helped. And I felt like they switched off a bit. When they were playing, there was no spaces between the midfielders and also the defenders. But for this particular goal, there was space. That was where the player occupied. There was a space between the defenders and the midfielders. And the player occupied that place and played it very well. And this time around, for all the heroics of Ronwen Williams, he was not able to save this one. He made himself brother in the goalpost, but still, it wasn't enough for him to make that save. And it's very sad, a very painful way to get eliminated out of the World Cup. But I would say this, South Africa actually made a mark. They made a mark on this particular World Cup. with the fact that Africa didn't really support them at the beginning, but later they kind of turned haters into lovers. People started supporting them for this one. But then they are going out, for me, as a team that actually left a mark on the tournament, and everyone is going to talk about them defensively, especially what they did today. Those line clearing, defense they did and everything. I think it was very, very important. So guys, I'm going to end it here. South Africa are going back to their country. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.